I say, it's been a while since we've been back in this chair, hasn't it? Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Qmon2, or NGS back again for another video. And it's time for vlog number 94. Number four. Right now it is a freaking hot summer day, and it's just burning outside.
Pop the molly, I'm sweat.
17, 42, 69.
I'm gonna go change my pants.
So, with this ring, he can make anything, right?
Yeah.
Could he actually make a finished version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yo, I know you're talking about like a Marvel.
Yeah, looking little Notica. Notica! Dang, how's that for a flashback? That was a nice stroll down memory lane, wasn't it? Instead of doing the usual quid pro quo vlog status, I know, all you people are gonna bite me saying, oh man, I clicked on this video expecting it to be a vlog, what the fuck is this shit, man? Calm down. We're gonna spin the gears in another direction. I think that's kind of counterproductive, but hey, we'll see where that takes us. I want to do a little bit of a look back, a little retrospective, another look down memory lane on how I got introduced to YouTube. Now, anyone who frequents my live stream shows knows already the history of how I got into the site, but for the new subscribers out there and those who have never gotten a chance to check out the live stream, I think it's best to document this special occasion with a video. So in this long video, I'm assuming from this recording that we're going to be here for damn near 20 minutes because, you know, I love to ramble. I would probably spend 20 minutes just explaining how I got into the site. We're going to take a look back on, like I said, how I got introduced to YouTube, how I met all you lovely people, why I'm still doing this today, and tips for up-and-coming YouTubers, aspiring video content creators. So where do we start out? Well, we're going to have to take a trip back to the year 2005. Yes, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, 2005. The eve before the release of Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, in Japan anyway, yes, I was that much of a Kingdom Hearts nut that I was counting down the days before it got released in Japan of December that year. But anyway, we're in the year 2005. We're not in December though. We're gonna backtrack a little bit, just a little bit to the months before December, mainly the summer period. Now, back during that time, I was not, how you say, internet savvy. I really wasn't the type of guy who would go on the internet 24/7, talk to people on Skype, create videos, upload them, blog on forums, none of that stuff. In 2005, it was a very different ballgame. I was more the guy who was really content with stuff here in the outside world, if you know what I'm saying. I was a kid who really loved reading. Something changed along those lines. I think it's because I got more into comic books and manga around that point. I loved studying. Something definitely changed in that situation in those couple of years. And I was just really content with what I had. I wasn't the type of person who, oh my god, every time something new came out, I had to have it. I would really just be a person who'd sit down and have a great ball time. I'm trying to create phrases. I was a kid who really didn't care much what was going on in the outside world. I was really oblivious to everything. So it was one Friday night, it was a weekend. My sister and I, since, you know, we hung out a lot, we were of a similar age group bracket, we would occasionally take the time to go on the internet and surf it. Now, this wasn't anything of how you people expect it nowadays. Back then in the year 2005, 2004, 2003, we would at most spend an hour a day on the computer. Why? Well, mainly because there wasn't much stuff for us to do. We would go on various anime-related websites, mainly anime pertaining to the Funimation catalog, yuhakusho.com. We'd be on that dial-up internet, so of course we'd have to sign in to AOL. I remember going to Stop and Shop one night. You remember they used to hand out those AOL 9.0, AOL 8.0, those discs, and you go home and install on your computer. The days of dial-up, people. I'm just telling you, if you never experienced dial-up, then you will not be familiar with the following tone. Oh man, you pray to the heavens, whatever deity you worship, oof, you just pray that that whole thing went through. Back in those days, we were really big into Kingdom Hearts, and seeing as how Kingdom Hearts 2, the information just coming out of Japan was just bursting out in all of the magazines, Game Informer, Game Pro, Game, insert your supplementary term here, make people want to buy the magazine. We started looking up on websites pertaining to Kingdom Hearts, mainly Kingdom Hearts Insider, or was it Kingdom Hearts 13, or it was one really big Kingdom Hearts site around the time. It had all the information leaked out of Japan. It had a couple of soundtracks on there, all you could think of Kingdom Hearts. So my sister was checking her email on AOL, and her friend had sent her a link to this website that hosted videos from a particular Kingdom Hearts game that had come out a couple years prior, but it was brand new to us at the time. And that was, of course, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Y'all know what Final Mix is, so I'm not gonna get into it, because I get into it. I'm gonna talk about the HD collection that's coming out this fall. But we had seen this video, and we were just like, whoa, oh my god. It wasn't Kingdom Hearts that we were freaking out about. It was this website, this YouTube.com, 2005 YouTube, mind you, where you could see all these videos from all these different people just going on there talking about their day-to-day lives, people doing funny skits, some people uploading video games, and 2005 YouTube video gaming uploading is nothing compared to how it is now. Whereas today you have a bazillion people doing commentaries, let's plays, walkthroughs of practically any game under the sun. Back in 2005, it was, first things first, it was hard enough to find a game that had a complete walkthrough. There weren't really that many people uploading gameplay, mainly due to the fact that capturing devices and software really wasn't the rage around that time. It was never really intended for gamers. It was more for people capturing their, oh my god, memories, man. My wedding tapes, my son taking his first steps, graduations, all that stuff. Like those capturing software, it was meant for that sort of thing, but it wasn't until like GameBridge and all that stuff started to come out and become popular in the mainstream. And then you have the Hop Hog and all kinds of shiz like that flourishing in the market that people started to go crazy, go ham with the gameplay videos. This website was so interesting and unique because we'd never seen anything like it before. Sure, you could watch videos of your favorite things on the internet at particular websites, but there was never really one centralized place where you could search for basically anything at the time. So we closed the internet that night, closed the web browser, mind you, and we started to notice that every single time we got back on the internet, every couple of days, we started to frequent YouTube a lot more. We would go on there and just basically look for whatever. Anime was a very big thing at the time. That is how I pretty much got introduced to Naruto. In the case of Naruto, I was always aware that it existed in Shonen Jump, but I never really cared for it. I was more interested in Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Rurouni Kenshin. But I saw Naruto in Shonen Jump, and when they announced that it was going to be airing on Cartoon Network on fall 2005, I was like, oh, you know, this seems pretty cool. I won't tell you how much of a damn I gave about Naruto back then. I read one chapter, and I believe it was, oh god, what the hell? Oh, someone just texted me. I believe it was the chapter where Naruto, Kakashi, and Zabuza were fighting on the bridge. Well, Naruto wasn't fighting them on the bridge, he was fighting Haku with Sasuke. But I remember reading the summary for it, and I was just like, Naruto wants to be the Hokage of Konagakure. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? But I gave it a chance, and I was just like, yeah, you know, this shit is actually pretty damn cool. So I went on to YouTube.com, and mind you, like with video games, it was really hard to find complete episodes of anime around the time. So I was just searching. I'm like, oh, episode 1? No, can't find it. 2, 3, 4. And around that time, I got to episode 50, which basically was when Choji was fighting, I believe, Dosu? Was his name Dosu? The one sound fucker, you know, the guy with the bandages. And I started to watch from there. So it was just so crazy that around that time, people here in the States were watching Naruto for the very first time, and I was watching it online, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like 60 episodes ahead. Oh, this guy named Jiraiya, man, these people aren't going to experience Jiraiya for like a year and a half. Crazy shit was going on. And so the more and more I frequented YouTube, the more and more I started to, I guess, get intrigued by the concept of creating videos. Now, being a person who was really invested into movies at the time, movies were like my #1 thing, I would always watch the special features that were included on the DVDs, Blu-rays, etc, etc, etc. In some situations, there have been movies where I really didn't enjoy the film itself, but I had a blast watching the special features, just seeing how this came about. Good example, the Transformers movies. As you guys know, I don't give two shits about them. The only ones that I find halfway enjoyable are #1 and #3, but I loved the making of behind it. You know, all the hard work and effort put into making these giant robots all look the same, no distinction whatsoever. Who's texting? Damn it, bunch of numbers. Where's the variation in the Transformers? I cannot tell one Transformer from another. They all look the same. Sure, you got your Optimus Primes and your Bumblebees. Why was Megatron all silver? I could not tell the difference between him and Starscream. Yeah, well, there was a height difference, but when these niggas were fighting in the forest in Revenge of the Fallen, I was like sitting there in my seat, who's winning? Who's losing? Shia LaBeouf is running. Who are you running from? Anyway, so special features were a really big thing for me at the time. I loved just learning about the movie, the craftsmanship, the director styles, and the ebb and the flow. Woo! Speaking of the ebb and the flow. Before we get copyright infringed, damn it. Speaking of copyright infringement, God, we're getting sidetracked. So special features were a really big part of me at the time. And there was that one fateful day where I stumbled into my parents' attic and I discovered a digital camcorder. And from that point on, ladies and gentlemen, you can pretty much guess what happens here. Now, it's not what you're expecting. I didn't start uploading YouTube videos of me, this glorious mug of mine, until the year 2008. Mainly what I was doing myself is just recording really random videos and skits. Not necessarily the randomness that you would see from these 12-year-olds who learn how to turn on the webcam. Oh my god, I can see myself on the computer screen. Oh, I'm uploading to YouTube. Not like that. I was just recording videos of me talking to the camera, just trying to get a basis and an understanding of how these people are able to talk to these cameras for their careers. Because when you look at it, like outside looking in, I mean, just pretend hypothetically, this phone, you're looking at this and you're trying to talk to it, you put one person right over there and they're looking at you and they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? And that's a question that I receive a lot on here, YouTube. How are you able to sit and talk to a camera for 15, 20, 45 minutes in the case of Kingdom Hearts? Like, how do you do it? Well, that was pretty much what I was doing. I was conditioning myself for a time when I would be able to upload videos. And now we get to the uploading process. After I'd created my account in the summer of 2006, QMon, I started to get interested in the Naruto video games. I was a big fan of the games at the time. I believe there were only a few released in the States. This is before the big boom of 4 different Naruto games on the Nintendo DS this year alone. I remember that Clash of Ninja Revolution was coming out at the time, and this was a really big deal for Naruto fans. It was a really big deal for me too, because not only was this more or less our Gekto Ninja Tyson 3, for all the people out there, shout out to Gekto Ninja Tyson 4! I still wish we had that game. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go find it, hold on one second. Well, I couldn't find GNT4, but I did stumble across this. Yeah, but let's actually try to keep this serious right now. We're damn near 20 minutes into this video and all I can recall is me bitching about the Transformers not looking remotely different. Oi! So on my first channel, QMon, primarily what I did on there was uploading release videos of Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution. And this is practically anything you could think of the game. Promotional materials, developer diaries, interviews, you name it, I uploaded it on there. And it wasn't until the end of my channel's, I guess you could say, existence that I started to get into making actual videos. I started dabbling in AMVs, I started dabbling in other anime related content, creating like particular things, like I think it was like Naruto All Rasengans, which was one of my more popular videos, just compiling all of the Rasengans that Naruto has used from point A up until like 2007, so that was right around the time of Shippuden when that started airing on TV. And sadly, oh boy, the good guys over at TV Tokyo caught wind of my escapades on uploading Naruto related content, and this is the funny thing. You would think that they would have gotten me for the Naruto All Rasengans video, because in that video, I did use a lot of Naruto related animation. I used the movies, I used the TV series. You would think that, but no, it was actually the video games that caused them to take the ban hammer to YouTube and woof, I was gone like that. And frankly, I don't really recall much of the actual deletion. I think I remember there was one point where I had a bit of a hiatus from uploading videos and I just signed on to YouTube and I found out my account was deleted. I was like, oh, okay. ? quickly after that, I opened up Qmon 2. Now, I think this is where a good majority of the early subscribers came from. On Qmon 2, this is really where I got into doing actual video-related content, original content. I still did the Naruto-related videos, but I decided to mix things up. I decided to do on-camera stuff. I did tutorials on how to hack your Nintendo Wii and play import games, which is why I brought this thing downstairs. Because earlier in that year, 2008, the first ever freeloader for the Nintendo Wii had come out. I believe it was the first ever freeloader. There might have been something else, but it was the first major official one that you could buy and you could use it, swap to play import games. And this was really big for the Smash Bros. People, the guys over in Europe who had to wait an extended period of time just to get the game. I believe it was June when Japan had gotten it, like January, and we got it in March, so it was ridiculous. And this was another game that had come out at the time, EX2, boasting a character roster of, yeah, just look at the damn back of it, and that's not even all of them. Yeah, this was a pretty awesome game for its time, and I just loved it. I imported it the second it came out. I had my freeloader, and I was having a ball. And then, yeah, Nintendo decided to drop the ban hammer and stop damn freeloaders from making any money. I'm like, what the hell? Kill my fun, Nintendo? Why you gotta do that? Why you have to do that? And then I found a solution, which is why I uploaded the tutorial videos for everybody, and it was a blast just telling people how to hack their Wiis. Now, I really wasn't a person who showed people how to hack their Wii so they could get, you know, free video games. I was just the person who says, hey, you want to play your import games that you bought legally? Come over here. Hey, do you want to enable your Nintendo Wii to play DVDs? Which it actually can. Then come over here. Hey, do you want to stop Nintendo from fucking your shit? Then come over here. Whatever happens, anyone who was pissed off at the Wii for Nintendo doing what they were doing, they came over here. And I just love that. A great community formed. And right around that time is where the vlogs began. The first ever vlog that I did was, oh man, I can't even recall the actual month, but I remember it was fall of 2008. I remember talking about how excited I was to be playing the latest Call of Duty that had come out at the time, being Call of Duty World at War. And it was talking about Naruto the Broken Bond, which fucking hell, that was a great damn game. I don't care what anybody says complaining about the animations. That shit was tough. It really was. It needs more respect. All y'all people who were saying, oh, fuck the Broken Bond, Storm is clearly better. Y'all bitches are graphic whores. I see all y'all on every video you can think of. Oh, fuck Broken Bond, man. Storm's gonna be better. Hey, hey, hey. Did your game have online? No. Did your game have trophies? No. Did your freaking game have a competent story mode? No. You got that freaking dumbed down RPG, so bitch, swerve. And that's pretty much... Y'all hear the ice cream truck, right? Huh. Oh, yeah. Summer's on its way, people. Yo, what's up with these suburban kids? I know it's the first time the ice cream truck has been out since like September, but chill. There was a Stop and Shop not even 5 minutes away. Woo! First world suburban problems. And that's pretty much where the Kingdom Hearts stuff also came to the mix. When I said that I had a love for Kingdom Hearts, man, was that really great, because up until that point, I hadn't met too many Kingdom Hearts fans. And the ones who I had met were kind of the over-obsessive ones. They were either A, the people who would talk about it non-stop to the point where they did it in their social lives and it kind of got creepy, to B, yeah, the chicks obsessed with yaoi. God, I'll never forget that convention. Ugh. But it was great to come on here and discuss with like-minded, sensible individuals about Kingdom Hearts, speculating about all the games that were going to be released, being 358x2 and Birth by Sleep. Oh, it was a grand time. I actually uploaded one of, I think probably the most amount of effort I put into a video, which was a mock trailer for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. When Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories came out in Japan, or should I say Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, they released an additional trailer for Chain of Memories, just promoting the game. Look at all the stuff you could do. I know you hated the card system, but hey, come over, play it here. It's easier, it's simpler, it's in 3D, voice acting. Yeah, man, enjoy it. And man, I remember I got so inspired. I'm like, hey, I can do this sort of thing. It wasn't that complicated. And oh man, all throughout the Christmas break of 2008, I worked day in and day out, making sure I had all the clips captured from the PS2 on my EasyCap 480p capture card, getting the music right, making sure everything's adjusted. I actually had to remake certain scenes because there was a difference in the trailer to the actual video game when it came to certain cutscenes in battle. It didn't intertwine well, to say the least. And I had a ball doing that. And right up around that time, second band hammer from TV Tokyo. Again, you would expect it would be the animated content I put on the channel, but no, it was the video games. And so I just sat there in this form of depression. Yes, I was depressed for like a good 2 days. I remember my friend, I was sitting in my sister's room and he hits me up on my cell phone. He comes to me and he's like, hey Chris. I'm like, yo, what's up? Did your YouTube channel get deleted? And he didn't even have to finish the sentence before I quickly ran to the other room, checked YouTube, tried to sign in. Your account has been suspended due to multiple copyright claims from TV Tokyo. I went to sleep straight after I read that claim. I did not do anything else. I didn't go back to my sister's room to tell her why I ran out of the room so suddenly. I just went to sleep. And I don't think it really hit me until a couple of days later, where me and my mom were, this is something I'm going to reveal to people for the first time. Yeah, do you guys remember how on my second channel, mainly this channel, Neo GameSpark, I restarted up the vlogs, and I started up with vlog number 1. And that vlog really wasn't, how should I say, kosher. It wasn't the quid pro quo. Yeah, I was pretty much ranting my brains out of TV Tokyo because what the heck did I do wrong? I was promoting the damn games for them. Free advertising. I was not even asking for a penny. I did it. Why? Because I love the games. And I still do to this day. But they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't. It was a different time. You could not file the counterclaims. None of that shiz. It was just, we have the power. We have the power. We're going to come after you. Don't do anything. You can't do anything. So in that video, I pretty much flipped shit. There was a table there. I didn't flip it, but I was angry. I was pounding on it. And my mom had gotten wind of that video. And let's just say that she's the type of person who, well, she wants me to look my very best at every single opportunity because everybody's always watching you. So be very careful about what comes out of this mouth. Be very careful how you look and what you say. And when she saw that video, ooh, she did not take too kindly to the 15-year-old Neo. So basically we had a big argument and it all escalated over that video, and then it just sort of hit me about all of this work because she was wondering why the heck I was getting pissed off about it. And I had to tell her, and then she was just in shock about it because she saw how much effort I was putting into that channel, and just to have it taken away like that. So I was in bed and I just started crying the second she said, I'm sorry that your account got deleted. I know to some it may seem like not a big deal considering the fact that it was just the internet, but to me it was. To a 15-year-old kid who was really getting invested into this online world, discovering something new for the very first time, honing his craft, having so much fun with this hobby to the point where it became a passion of mine, to have it gone in just seconds. It was really something that hit my adolescent psyche. And so shortly after that, I had a little bit of a slump where I really didn't upload much content. I just, for the most part, stuck with vlogs, and I was still sort of in that transitional period. I was still down in the dumps. I still had the shyness factor. But 2009 was a really good year for me because I started to get out of my shell. I started to become a lot more vocal. I started to not only hone my craft to another level by getting into more video editing software, but I started to talk about a lot more things that piqued my interest, which is where the vlogs pretty much started on that point. It was just me getting on here and ranting about whatever the heck I could talk about. And that's pretty much where we are today, people. I don't really need to explain to you guys the, I guess you could say, history of the Neo GameSpark channel, because most of you have experienced the history behind the Neo GameSpark channel from the years of 2009 to 2010, 11, 12, and even now to 2013. It's been a pretty long run from the start of when I got introduced to YouTube in 2005 to when I uploaded my very first original video in 2008, overall, I've been into this site for more than 7 years now. I think this summer will mark my, if I got my math right, 8-year anniversary with YouTube. It's freaking crazy, right? Man. But now that I've done that, I really just want to take the time now to explain to people pretty much why I do what I do. Because when you look at people on YouTube, you start to notice things about them. There are two types of people you'll encounter on YouTube. And from those two types, you can branch them off into separate categories. Now, the first type of person is a person who, when they come here on YouTube, they have a pretty clear agenda of what they want to do. They're a person who sees this person has X amount of subscribers and Y amount of views, and they want to replicate that success. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not in any correlation to being inspired by someone. This is someone who's so clearly out there for the views and for the money. Being able to make money off your own original content without having to sign any legal documents, signing it away to corporations saying that they own this and you don't. It was phenomenal. It was fantastic at the time. It was pretty much unheard of. Well, in this bubble, I'm not talking about the entirety of the internet. So those are the type of people you'll see who come on here, and you'll generally see that they have really a quick burst. They have a really strong startup. It's a really strong foundation, but they fizzle out really quick. Why? Because their heart isn't in it. It probably never was from the beginning. They're thinking with this, but not with this. Pardon the cheesy expression, but that's pretty much the way I understand it. Because I was always taught to believe, if you're having fun with something, then it should never feel like a hassle. It should never feel like a job. Because if you are enjoying yourself all throughout, you're never going to realize how much time has really passed by. I mentioned earlier how I was talking about that Kingdom Hearts mock trailer. In that video, I spent probably close to 15 hours of continuous editing. And for some people, in the grand scheme of things, 15 hours will not seem like a lot, but that was over the course of a 2-week winter vacation, spending at least like 2 hours a day. And it was a lot of work, it definitely was, but I didn't notice it. I really didn't. Why? Because I was having fun. It was my passion. I loved Kingdom Hearts, and to see the final results, the final product, and to see so many people commenting about it, it was an experience that you really never see until you go through it yourself, until you put that same amount of effort into it. Which is why a lot of these people fizzle out, because their heart isn't in it. They have dollar signs attached to their eyes. And that's never why somebody should do anything. If you're doing something solely for money, and I'm speaking specifically in the terms of entertainment, in terms of creating content, you're not going to have fun. You seriously aren't. You ever heard the term struggling artist? Now, I'm not trying to relate that people should use YouTube for their primary source of income. I'm just saying, in general, it takes a while for you to achieve things. There are times when you're just going to be sitting there wondering exactly what you're going to do next. There are moments like that. And most people don't have, I guess you could say, the creativity or just the general interest to continue doing the videos. And not speaking specifically on them, their lives, if they have something else going on, if they can't do videos anymore, but I'm speaking specifically on the person who gets in here, says they're going to do all these videos, and they never do. Most of the time, it's just due to the fact that they don't have any idea on what to say in the videos. And then the second type of people that you're going to see are the old veterans who are still here to this day, who are still uploading videos from the beginning of YouTube, from pretty much its inception, even to the new people nowadays who've been doing it for 2+ years. Those type of people you're going to see stick around for the most part because they generally have an interest in doing this. They like getting on here and speaking their thoughts, sharing with you guys, and getting introduced to this community, which is something that I think any person who's trying to create a rival to YouTube, and why YouTube for the most part I think is going to pretty much be the king of video sharing websites, is because not only have they created this site where you could share videos with your friends and family in the community, they've created this community where you're able to interact with people via directly or indirectly, video responses, comments, what have you. And all these other websites that you're seeing, it's not really like that. Now, bear in mind, I'm speaking specifically on the broad sense of things. I'm not talking about individual circumstances like, oh, the gaming community is horrible. Look at all these trolls here, the anime, the manga fags, you know, all these people, the My Little Pony tards. You know, I'm not speaking on that. I'm just speaking in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? But those people, the old guard, who just come on here and do whatever videos that they want to do, their audience is going to stick around. Why? Because they get to know this person all throughout their career. And this is something that I've really noticed. And I actually didn't see how much of an impact I had until I started getting to talk to people via Skype or even meeting up people like I did in New York City a couple of weeks back. You start to see that not only are you influencing people with your thoughts, you know, the videos that you do, you're connecting with them in a really personal way. They start to know things about you. It was very interesting for me considering the fact that I, for the most part, went through my adolescence period on YouTube. I was at that point 15, 14 years old. I was still going through puberty. You guys can definitely tell how my voice dropped a couple of octaves. And it was definitely interesting. It's unlike a person who's already an adult, already mid into their 20s who comes onto YouTube, but a child going onto YouTube and experience these sort of things. It definitely leaves an impact, and you grow alongside your subscribers, which is a reason why I value my subscribers so much. I mean, a lot of people like to say that, oh, I'm not in it for the views, I'm not in it for the money, I'm not in it for the subscriber count, yet they constantly, day in and day out, whore themselves using misleading titles and misleading thumbnails. They keep baiting their subscribers saying, oh, click here, make me money. I'm not that type of person. I'm really not. I'm just a guy who likes to come on here and spew whatever on my noggin. Why? Because it's fun, and I am grateful that there are people out there who will listen to me talk about those sort of things. Because, hey, I'll just tell you this right now. I get tired of hearing myself talk. I mean, sure, it's great. I sound all awesome and freaking fantastic. But when you're sitting there in Sony Vegas editing yourself, oh, you start to notice things. You notice the little tiny things that get on your nerves if you had to sit with this person in a room for 8 hours. You start to notice those things, and good golly, Miss Molly. Whew! I'm so glad some people didn't catch up on those. And now by me saying that, people are going to go back and say, what the hell is this guy talking about? Oh, I see it right now. Look at all the times he says and you know, and like, and touches his nose. But yeah, I'm grateful that there are people out there who I'm able to share this experience with. I'm able to come on here and pretty much have a second life, not in the terms of, oh man, I hate my real life. I wish I could go into the internet, jump in here, and you guys could be my family. No, I've met a lot of genuine, great people on here. People who I'll probably be talking to for the rest of my life. That sounds like an exaggeration, but when you start to form these experiences with these like-minded individuals, you'll get to understand this sort of thing. I know people think it's the internet, you shouldn't take anything seriously, the people on here you're probably never going to meet. I'll say never in that circumstance, because you never know what's going to happen on the internet. It's always evolving, it's always changing, just like life. So now that we've tackled pretty much why I stay on YouTube, I want to talk about the tips for a person who wants to get into YouTube. They've seen a couple of their favorite subscriptions, they're getting influenced by them, they have the proper equipment. So what are the steps needed to get into the fray? Now, I'm just going to say this straight up. Two things. Warning. Number one, these are my personal tips. So of course they're going to differ from YouTuber to YouTuber to YouTuber. And number two, what I'm going to relate to you probably will become very outdated very soon. Why? Like I said, like life, YouTube, the internet, it's always changing. My tips for how to do things now may not work 2 years from now, 3 years from now, even 15 years from now. God forbid this video somehow is still relevant 15 years later. But the number one thing that I can recommend to somebody when they come onto YouTube, if just in general, whatever they're doing, just have passion in what you're doing. Do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you have some form of ulterior motive like, oh, I'm gonna get rich quick overnight, man. I'm gonna be like a white boy 7th Street and make money off of my Call of Duty commentators. Hey guys, I just want to show you this great commentary I recorded right here. I'll show you, I got the Spaz 12 right here and I just killed 2 guys with 1 bullet. It's actually pretty tricky, but you can pull it off right now. You just gotta buy this $15 thing you put on your Xbox 360 stick, and you know, it kind of glides across, and it's great. Great friction and fraction. And yeah, here we go, we're right here on terminal, and we're just gonna hop up here. And a lot of people like to camp here. It's kind of a real knit camping spot, so all you gotta do is just pop Semtex back there, boom, 2 kills. Or you can just go beast like El Presidor and just scream your lungs out. That'd be great. If you have a reason for joining YouTube that is not of the standard, then you are not gonna have a good time. Like on South Park, you're gonna have a bad time. Why? Because you're gonna get burnt out real quick because these people are so fickle, they just can't comprehend the fact that they didn't make $2,000 in 1 month on YouTube. Oh my God. Let me just tell you this for a fact. If y'all one of those bitches, these bitch ass punks who comes on YouTube just to make money quick, I didn't start monetizing on YouTube until 2011. Partially that's due to the fact that I didn't care about making money, and partially due to the fact that there was a glitch on the AdSense account. But when I found out that I could earn money via YouTube, that didn't change the way I uploaded videos. My videos for the most part were the same. I wasn't throwing up videos just for the heck of it so I can get that $. I wasn't using them misleading titles and thumbnails. Okay, come on, it was Grace's the anniversary of it releasing in the States, celebratory. Leave me alone, leave me alone. It was a joke. The Narutards need to chill the fuck out. I need a drink right now, seriously. Oh, throwback to the good old days of Cubon 2 vintage seltzer water. Oh man, good stuff right here. Oh, that was good. Great. You see, if an ice cream truck could distract me, if I could still come back on point, why would a drink of water change that? I don't even remember where we were. Oh yeah, something about AdSense and YouTube and money, fuck the fans, money, something like that. Yeah, I didn't change the way I did videos. Why? Because I didn't need to. It was great that I was earning monetary income for this, and I can tell you this for a fact. Me earning money on YouTube, it did help some things. It helped my bills. I earned money when I was in college, so I was able to pay for my books. I was able to pay for the necessities in college. I wasn't going out there and partying with all them bitches saying, yo man, I got this YouTube money, man, I'm gonna upload 4 videos today. I wasn't doing any of that. And even in some cases, that went towards buying products so I could review here on YouTube. And I'm not sponsored by any corporation. I'm not a person who's gonna come on here and do advertising saying, you know what? I was walking down the street today and I walked by the Apple store. And in the Apple store, they had this great deal on the, I don't know if you heard about this, the iPhone 4? The iPhone 4, they're selling it for $1 when you sign up for a 2-year contract on AT&T. That's fantastic. Bitch swerve, that is not why I'm here, to do product placement. I think an iPhone did show up in this video at some point. I don't even know where. Damn it, I lost my phone. Oh yeah, I'm on Team iPhone now, yeah. We'll do a video on that as well. No, I got no time to explain it. Ain't nobody got time to explain the Switch. All right, you've got the passion, you've got the drive to make these videos, you know what you want to do. What do you do next? Well, the second tip that I want to do, make sure you know what you want to do. I know you think you know what you want to do, but no. You got to go, sit back at the drawing board and realize what you want to do. Now, do you want to be a person who comes on here and does anime-related videos, be it reviews, unboxings of DVDs and Blu-rays? Do you want to do something in the gaming community? Make sure you want to do it because you want to do it. Now, let's get one thing straight, though. There's the difference between being inspired by someone and being a complete and utter ripoff. Let's go over the terms right now. If you're inspired by someone, that is great. Let's be honest here. We're all inspired by some individual. We see them doing something that really intrigues us and we want to get there and do something our own. And in some situations, considering the fact that you don't have much experience behind the camera, you're going to try to mimic them. Now, of course, it's going to be rough and shaky in the beginning, but as time comes along, you'll start noticing that you're relying less and less on that individual and more on your own original content. Why? Because you're honing your craft. Of course, it's great to incorporate their stuff into yours, but do it in such a way that it feels natural, that it doesn't feel like a complete and total ripoff. So that's the one thing I want to recommend to people in terms of inspiration. It's great to be inspired by someone, but still be yourself. Don't try to be a clone of them. And let's be honest, in the gaming community, we have far too many clones. In the anime manga community, far too many clones. I'll just say that right now. All right, you've got the drive, you've got your inspiration down, you know what you want to upload on YouTube. What are you going to do next? Well, I think that should be obvious. You need to get yourself some equipment. Now, bear in mind, this is very different than what it was in 2006 when you had heifers coming on here with the 0.3 megapixel camera. Oh man, the 0.3 megapixel camera. You could barely see that person moving. It was like lag in video form, man. You couldn't see what they were doing. They had that weird fuzziness on there, the crackling static sound. And then they got the nice fancy cameras. You're just like, oh, some of y'all heifers should go back to that 0.3, please. But nowadays, Since people see that the internet is a growing industry, they create specific cameras for those who just want to get on there and be a vlogger. Now, if you want to be a vlogger, I highly recommend picking up one of those flip light cameras. I know Flip has went out of business, but they still have those kind of cameras. The Sony Bloggy, for one, is a pretty affordable camera. It's around $100 something, $150, $160, I don't know. The camera that I'm using right now is a Sony Bloggy HD from 2010. I got this when it was like 150 bucks, and it's still holding up to this day, even after all this wear and tear abuse. Like, part of it is falling off. There's a big giant crack down the screen. I'll put you through abuse. I'm sorry, baby. But yes, make sure you know what you want to record with. Are you going to record with a video camera? Are you going to record with a camcorder? Do you have the appropriate cables to transfer to your computer? Does it use SD cards? Do you have an SD card slot in your computer? Hey, I don't. I use USB. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say you're not really the on-camera type of person. Well, what can you do? You can still do audio-related videos, and those can range from reviews, commentaries, criticisms, anything you can think of. So if you are going to record audio, what I personally recommend you do for the entry-level person, doesn't really want to spend too much on equipment, I'd recommend getting a Blue Snowball microphone. It's really inexpensive. It's less than, I think, $70. You can find it really cheap on Amazon, Newegg.com, wherever you could think of. But for those who want more professional sounding quality, the best mic you can get, bang for your buck, when you don't want to bleed the bank, the Blue Yeti microphone. It's around $100, and before I get too much into this, because I will, because this mic is freaking amazing, it's just seriously freaking awesome, and honestly I would recommend that for anybody who wants to do any audio related videos. Now that you've got your equipment out of the way, what do you need to do? Well, if you've got that sort of thing, you're already set, but for those who want to hone the craft, you need some video editing software. If you're on Windows, if you're on Mac, both platforms provide a wealth of creativity for your needs. There's Final Cut Pro for Mac, there's iMovie. On the Windows side of things, you have Sony Vegas, you have Adobe, insert whatever thing you want there. There's so many different programs out there for your own enjoyment. I'd recommend, if you're on the Windows side of things, starting out with Sony Vegas. I know it's going to be kind of a learning curve for some people out there, but it's the things you kind of have to take into when you go into this sort of thing, because it is a learning curve. You are going to have to learn certain things about video editing, but for those who just want basic stuff, you know, text, picture-in-picture maybe, then Sony Vegas is perfectly fine for you. Yet it also provides you with the options to go more advanced. And you're definitely going to notice that the more you start experimenting with your videos and color correction, sharpening, transitioning, all that sort of thing, it becomes really fun to edit these videos. And like I said, it depends on what you want to do. Some videos will take more time to edit than others. If you're doing skits, if you're doing a lot of jump cuts and transitions, special effects, green screen, lighting is very important for you. Some of my videos have pretty crappy lighting on there. I try to fix it whenever I can by having this light shine on me and these lights over here. But hey, what can I do? I'm still learning. And that is exactly what doing these videos are for. Learning. You're not supposed to come on here and be some sort of professional expert unless you have a job in that field and you're doing this to set up a website and video service for your job. But you get my point. If you're just an average run-of-the-mill Joe, it's going to take a while to learn these things, and that's pretty much the fun in it as well. You're learning something that can better your expertise if you want to keep doing this. If this is something you want to do, if you want to go into the industry for professional editing, you know, it's where you start here, start small. And even though these sort of skills won't really benefit you in the long run, like in terms of the advanced professional stuff, like, oh, you can do cuts here and there, it provides a foundation in the beginning, so you're not really going to be that far behind everybody else who may have access to this sort of information before you. You're not really going to be left in the dust, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And that's the one thing I do love about doing this sort of thing. You know, it is a learning experience, there is a curve attached to it, and it takes time to get used to this. It seriously does. So if you're going to come on here and stutter for a while, say a lot of ums, lose your train of thought and your focus, which I do a lot from time to time, some comedic, some actually, yeah, I actually do forget what I'm talking about in the video, which you guys have noticed. Just don't stress out about those sort of things. Everybody's first couple videos are going to be pretty horrific. You're just going to be sitting there and you're going to look so young and cute and adorable, like this fool right here, you know? But you'll notice when you compare yourself then to yourself now, a lot of things can change. Don't worry about those things. Those things are superficial. It's something for you to look back on. If you're gonna be worried about how somebody thinks you look right here, well, hey, it's everybody's first try. You give it that old college try if you are that scared about coming on camera, or if you are that scared on recording your voice. It's not gonna hurt anybody. Maybe it could help somebody. You never know what you can do. If you are really intrigued in this and you have a passion for it, hey, the sky's the limit. And that's really where I want to end this video off, you guys, on this Vlog 100 celebratory 21,000 subscribers. I can't believe I forgot to mention that until now in the video. Wow, 21K, thank you guys so much for that. And I know for some it may sound like, oh, you don't really appreciate subscribers there, because, well, I've been saying these sort of things every single time I hit a milestone. Everybody knows that I appreciate what they're doing, but I don't know, it's just come to the point where I can't thank you guys enough, because you guys, it's not that you've been there to give me views or money or a high subscriber count. It's just being there, those type of people who still comment on the videos, who frequent the live streams, who chill on Skype with me till 6 a.m. in the morning, sometimes on a school night. Those are the people who I respect in the end. In general, it doesn't matter to me if you're just another person watching the videos. If you're still there for me and commenting on my videos, those are the people who I really care about, the people who get interactive with the videos. Now, I know it may sound weird saying that, oh, you don't care about the other people who just watch your videos, they don't care about commenting on your videos, oh, you're a heartless bastard. Don't take things out of context. Just take that heartfelt speech that I said and sort of find a way to apply it that doesn't sound evil in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, I think it's about time I wrap this video up. Who knows how long this thing's been recording. It's been in multiple different takes. As you can see, the lighting's been different. Honestly, guys, I gotta say this has been one hell of a ride. It seriously has, and I would not trade this for the world. If somebody asked me if I could go back in time and change one moment in my life, would I do that? And honestly, you know, I get to thinking about this because there are a lot of things in history, in my life personally, that I would have changed. A lot of mistakes that I've made, a lot of people that I've hurt. But then again, I look at what's come from making those mistakes and me learning and me experiencing and becoming a better person. I would have never become the person I am today if I didn't make those mistakes, if I didn't stumble, if I didn't fall. Or I wouldn't have become this person if I didn't take the plunge, if I didn't take the risk, if I didn't take that leap of faith. So when people say you want to go back and change history, hey, history is not set in stone. Just be who you want to be. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace. I would really think by now I'd hit 100 vlogs, but apparently that's not the case. So let's make a promise. By the end of 2012, we're gonna hit at least 100 vlogs. Exposed! Exposed! Funny. Get over it, Naruto! He's gone! I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. Naruto just won't get it. He's not coming back. Leave him alone.